Why is my grocery budget a mess? I've come up with 5 reasons why I think it's not going to plan, and I'd like to tell you about them today and to ask for some advice about what you would do to improve my situation and what you do to make your own grocery budget stretch. So, welcome to my channel. My name's Rachel. This is Rachel for Real, and I'm doing a low buy year in 2025, which I'm documenting on this channel. And every month, mid-month, I'm just having a little chat about how I've been feeling about the process, how I've been getting on with the low spend, and any thoughts that I've had about budgeting, the psychology behind budgeting, what gets in the way of budgeting, and how it can be improved. Because the whole point of the low spend is to not overconsume, only buy the things you really need, which is easier said than done, isn't it? You know, we're bombarded by adverts all over the place about what we should be buying and the new latest gadget and everything. So a lot of it is psychology, and I've been very aware, having a think about it over the last couple of weeks, that my psychology is getting in the way, and that's why I've come up with these 5 reasons. So reason number 1 why I think my grocery budget is a mess is because I'm disorganized. And you may say, well, that's easy to solve, just get more organized. And I would agree with you, but I find it really difficult. I don't check my cupboards and freezer and fridge before I go shopping, so I'm not aware of what I've already got. So if I'm not aware of what I've already got, I don't really know what I need, and I can buy duplicates and therefore waste money on things that I don't need at that moment in time, because I can use the one that's already in the cupboard or the freezer. So I think moving forward, I need to be more aware of what I've already got food-wise. My food budget, the grocery budget, also include toiletries, cleaning products, toilet paper, kitchen towel, all that kind of thing. So I need to check around my flat to see what I've got and then work out what I need to go and buy after that. Reason number 2, I think that my grocery budget is a mess, is because I don't stick to my meal plan. So I've got a board up on my kitchen wall where I've done a meal plan, but then I don't tend to stick to it. And part of the problem is because I don't know what's in my cupboards, I'm not thinking this item would be part of this recipe for this meal this night. I tend to have the same breakfast most mornings, so that's taken care of. That's an easy one. But lunch and dinner specifically, I tend not to stick to the meal plan, and I don't know why. I don't know whether that's because there's some sort of snotty little rebellious part of me which says I won't be told what to do. But the fact that I've actually designed the meal plan means that I should be happy with those foods, and I like those foods, those meals. So why don't I stick to it? So that's something to work on over the next few weeks. Write a new meal plan based on what I already have in the freezer and the cupboards. And maybe once I've got more awareness of that, I can then reduce the amount of shopping I do because I've already got pretty much what I need. The third reason that I think it's a mess is because I don't do a weekly shop. I tend to shop as and when I feel like it, which means that I'll buy more than I need. I think most of us have that issue. I certainly do. Is if I go into a shop for, say, a loaf of bread, I'll come out with 3 other things as well. So my exposure to shopping and being in shop causes me to buy more than I need and more than I can afford. So I need to reduce my exposure in order to cut back and stick within my grocery budget. So a weekly shop would help. I have been considering whether to do an online shop to stop me actually going to the shops. Let me know what you think about that. If you do online shops, do you think it helped? Are you less tempted by the special offers and, well, in my case, snacks? That's a big problem. Snack. When I look at my receipts from the supermarket, if I've gone in and I've just bought what I need and I haven't bought any snacks, then the basic items are not cheap, but a reasonable amount that I can fit in my budget if I'm careful. But once you add snacks and fancy drinks and things to that, the budget goes out the window because these things are so expensive. So yes, going to the shops less often, or if I decide that it's a good idea to try online shopping, not going to the grocery shops at all, I think would help me stick within my budget and improve the situation. Number 4, I mood eat. And this goes back to the meal plan, I think. I'm spoiled. I suppose I am spoiled. I can choose exactly what I want to eat as long as I can afford to buy the food in the first place. So if I don't fancy something, I won't eat it. Now, I know you can obviously mix around the meals on your meal plan as long as you're still using up all the groceries that you've bought to make the meal plan work. So I could do that. I need to maybe have a wee think about how I can make kind of what I fancy on the day based on the meal plan, but it doesn't have to be the specific day that I've allocated for that meal. Does that make any sense? So yes, I do mood eat, and that means that I don't tend to use up what I've already got because I'm not in the mood for it. So I'll go and either buy something else or I'll make something else from what I've got in the flat, and it'll just kind of go out the window. And that's another way you waste food as well, isn't it? If you don't stick to the meal plan of what you've bought, stuff goes slimy in the bottom of the fridge, and then it's a waste. It's a waste of food, it's a waste of money, and it's a waste of your time going out to buy it and then replace it. I also think my mouth gets lonely. Now that's sort of a weird thing to say, but I don't know. Is it like when you're vaping or smoking? You've got something to do, you're occupied, possibly. I think the same with snacking. If my mouth's lonely, it wants company, so I'll go and get a snack, and I'm not necessarily hungry. I want that feeling to go away. I want something to do. So yet again, another thing that I need to be working out how I can reduce that. You don't have to reduce snacks altogether. It's quite nice to have a little treat, but to reduce it from the amount it is at the moment. And the 5th one, which I think is probably the biggest one in terms of going over the budget rather than struggling with going to the shops too often or not sticking to the meal plan, is that it's very easy to justify spending on food. When we write our budget each month, we've got utilities, we've got rent and mortgage, we've got petrol, and we've got food. Everybody needs to eat. So if I get the urge to spend money, it's sort of legitimate that I can spend money on food because we all need food. We all have to shop for food. But I'm not just buying what I need, am I? I'm buying what I want. I'm buying too much of some things so that I've got duplicates in the cupboards. So the focus going forward will be the once a week food shop, either online or in person, and reducing the amount of junk food, which will keep the bill down, but it will also keep me to my meal plan more, I think, because if I'm having better balanced meals, the urge to snack might be less. Mood eating would be, oh no, that's a bit tricky, but I think I'm just going to have to get out of my own way and design a meal plan that's got lots of lovely food in it, which I like. Do more batch cooking so that there's food that I like prepared already, so I don't have to think about it every night. The next video I make will be about some batch cooking and some frugal meals. So that will be me putting into practice some of the things I've talked about today. So yeah, disorganised, go through my pantry, excuse me, go through my cupboards and my freezer and my fridge, see what I've already got, make a meal plan based on that, stick to my meal plan, even if I move the days around a little bit. Just do a weekly shop so that I've got less exposure to buying things that I don't need or junk food, and stop justifying buying food that I don't need. The spending money is, I don't know, it's a bit of a habit, I suppose, but also it gets me out and about and it's something to do, and that's quite sad, isn't it? I think a lot of us shop for something to do. A lot of people don't, and that's the sort of person I would like to become, but it's a slow process, isn't it? And each month of this low buy year, I'm learning more. I'm sort of analysing what I'm doing, what's working, what's not, and tweaking it as I go along. And I think that's part of the process, isn't it? I'm not going to be perfect straight away. In fact, I'm never going to be perfect, but there's room for improvement all the time. And having the awareness of what you've been doing and the good bits of it and the bad bits of it, you can then adjust what you're doing, hopefully to make the next month better. So let me know what you think might help me. What do you do that helps you that you think might benefit me? I'm open to suggestions. I need to crack this grocery budget. For example, do you think it would make sense to have a food budget and a household budget separate so that I divide the amount of money I've allocated for groceries and split it up so that I know exactly what's on food and exactly what's on sort of household products? That might make it less complicated and give me a better idea about what I'm spending. So yeah, I really appreciate your input on this in the comment. As I say, we can all help each other and that's great. So that's my thoughts, my mid-month musings for March. And in a couple of weeks' time, I'll come back to you and let you know how I got on this month. Okay, thanks. Take care. See you soon. Bye.